All right, students, today we're going to take a look at parallel lines. First off, are these two lines parallel? Yes, they are. If you check at their y-intercept, they have a slope from their y-intercept up to and over 3. And if you check and write the points in, you can see that both have the same slope. So these lines are, yes, they are parallel. You notice that they have the same slope of 2/3, or 2 over 3. All right, parallel lines are lines in the same plane that never intersect, meaning they never cross, they never intersect. Parallel lines will always have the same slope, as I mentioned before here. Because they have the same slope, they will not cross. All right, looking ahead, and a reminder, you can pause at any point if you would like to get caught up, or just if I'm going too fast. So please feel free to pause at any point. All right, number 1 here, we look at the slope of this one. In slope-intercept form, the slope is a -1/3. All right, so we're checking to see, does this second one have also a slope of -1/3? So we're going to subtract 2x because we are solving for y. So we subtract 2x, we bring down the 6y, -2x goes here, and then because it's positive 12, we put plus 12. We're going to divide by 6 everywhere, and we're going to end up with y equals a -1/3 x plus 2. So the only part that for this question we need to look at is that we have the same slope. So yes, those two lines are parallel. All right, for number 2, we notice the second one, we already have a slope of positive 1/4. So what we need to do is solve this one for y to see, because from standard form we don't know the slope yet. So we're going to add 6x. We've got 8y equal to 6x minus 24. And then we need to divide by 8 everywhere. And when we do that, we see that 6/8 is not going to simplify to 1/4. We actually get 3/4 x minus 3. So because these two are not the same slope, that makes them not parallel. So we put no for not parallel. So go ahead and pause if you need to catch up there. We're going to move, sorry, there it is, so you can pause. Then we're going to move ahead on to write an equation given a parallel line and a point. So our point is 5,1. Here is our equation. So step 1 is to find the slope. So we're going to use this. The only thing we use on this equation, the -4, is not going to be used on this next step. We just have the slope of 5/3 because we want our slope in our new one to also be the same as the original equation. All right, then we're going to plug that in. We're going to use the point and the slope. So we've got y minus y1 is 1. The slope is 3/5. And then x minus x1 is 5. So this is what we have. Now, so step 2 is to set it up. Step 3 is to solve for y. So we're going to distribute. We have y minus 1 comes down, 3/5 x. Now you can use your calculator to work out this step, a fraction times another number. Certainly use the ABC button if you need, but we should get -3. We're going to add 1 to both sides, so our answer ends up 3/5 x minus 2. And there we go. So that wraps up the first page. That is page 11 in our notes. So go ahead and feel free to pause again if you need. I'm going to go ahead and move on to page 12 in the notes. All right, this is the same step as the one we just did. Now what we're going to do, we've got the slope right here. So m is equal to 3, and we're going to use that with the point. So it's going to be, sorry, that equation looked a little sideways there, but anyways, we're going to use 3 for the slope. So y minus a -6. Now I put minus a negative here just so you could take note that that turns to plus a positive. All right, and then we have 3 as the slope times x minus x1, which is 2. And here's what we have. So now we're going to solve for y. We distribute, we get y plus 6 equal to 3x minus 6. We need to move the 6 over, and we're going to end up with y equals 3x minus 12. All right, so again, feel free to pause if I went too fast there. And then now the next one is a little bit more work because we don't have the slope right away from the equation. It's not solved for y. So we need to add 7x to both sides and we need to get y by itself. So we're going to have 3y here equal to 7x and plus 3. Now once we divide by 3 everywhere, this extra part is really, like I said, irrelevant on the other one. We just need the 7/3 x. The plus 1 we don't necessarily need for what we're doing. We need the slope, which is the 7/3. Okay, so we solve for y to get that. Now we're going to plug it into point slope. So we go y minus a -7 turns to plus 7, as it did over there. Slope is 7/3 times x minus a -9 turns to plus 9. Right, like this. And if you just want to write plus 9, you don't have to write the minus negative and cross out. I just think it helps sometimes explaining it. Y plus 7 is equal to 7/3 x. Now we distribute this. You can use your calculator, certainly to help you out there. But when we distribute this, we get... oh, I need to fix something here. Let me go back real quick and adjust. I forgot to bring down the -3, so make sure that you do that. And so we have a negative slope. Thought something seemed off. So this is a negative right here. When we distribute, okay, when we distribute, the 3 and the 9 cancel out, or you can use your calculator. We get minus 21. And then we should subtract 7 from both sides. So we end up getting a negative 7/3 x and minus 28. So apologies for that. Got going a little fast there. So it just shows you be careful. Make sure to bring down the negative whenever you are solving for y. But this is the correct answer. So go ahead and pause that if needed. All right, the last two. Sorry, here's for the pause. The last two, we're going to use the point that is given. So this point, with the graph, we have to check is -2, +2. And then our slope we can get, here's the intercept. And we look to see, looks to me like it's going up 1/2. So I check again, up 1/2. So it keeps on that track. So our slope is a positive 1/2 right there. Okay, so then we plug it in. We're going to have y minus y1, which is the 2, equal to 1/2 times x minus a negative turns to plus 2 for that one. So we distribute. Y minus 2 is equal to 1/2 x. Half of 2 we get 1. And then we add 2 to both sides. So we get our final answer of y equals 1/2 x plus 3. And that is number 6. Last one, number 7. Our point this time is at 4, -1. I think it helps to write it down. Now our slope, we go, this time we got nothing until we get to here, we get a nice point. Then if we, does it go down 3 and over 2? So if it continues, you might mark that up. So it is a slope of down 3 over 2 using rise over run. So we set this up. We got y minus a -1 turns to plus 1. We got minus or -3 over 2 times x minus the 4. So there's our setup. Okay, now we just need to solve it. So we distribute. We got y plus 1, -3 over 2 times x. And then distributive property, use your calculator. I believe we should get plus 6 here. And then we're going to subtract 1 from both sides. Finally, we end up with a -3 over 2 for the slope times x and plus 5. And that is what we end up with there. So there are those last two if you'd like to pause and catch up. Thank you guys for your time and have a great day.